1 month from today, 1 week after the Super Bowl, and our home team, the Seattle Dragons, taking part in the first ever league-wide training camp. It's happening in Houston, Texas over the next couple of weeks before their first game against the DC Defenders. And while it may look similar to NFL football, the rules are a little bit different. Joining us this morning to explain the rules and the differences that fans can expect to see is XFL Commissioner and CEO Oliver Luck. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Bill.
So why was Seattle important for the XFL to launch a franchise here as one of the inaugural teams?
So we found the interest level in Seattle from both the first and goal folks at the stadium to the municipal government to the general sort of football community. We found the response overwhelming. I think Seattle is one of the most underrated sports towns in the nation. There's passionate fans. I've been fortunate enough over the years to be at Sounders games. I worked in MLS for a while. Obviously, the Seahawks, are an incredible franchise with great fan support. The NHL, of course, moving with the new hockey team. Even at the collegiate level, the level of passion for UW is unsurpassed. So, we began to look at Seattle and thought, wow, this could be just one of our best franchises. And really all that's happened since we hired Jim Zorn and announced Seattle as one of our locations has been incredibly positive. I think it's going to be one of our best, maybe our best market overall.
Maybe whisper that into the ear of Adam Silver with the NBA when you see him next time. Let's talk about the brand of football we're talking about here. Let's get into the rule book here. You say the games are going to be faster paced.
Correct. So as we started this process about a year and a half ago, we spent a lot of time talking to fans, thousands of fans through focus groups and market research. And what they told us was this: we love professional football, but if we have a complaint, it's that there's a little bit too much idle time, a little bit too much downtime. Rhythm gets sort of chopped up with, breaks to review plays, et cetera. So as we designed our rule book, we spent a lot of time with experts, former players, current players, coaches, former and current coaches, TV experts, health and safety officials, to try to create a game that's a fast-paced, up-tempo game, a game with scoring. Points matter, and points are fun to see, to bring additional strategy into the game, for example, with our extra point option, a 1, a 2, or a 3-point extra point. So all of the rule differences that we have, these innovations, and there's about a dozen, they're all grounded in the rationale of allowing the teams to play an up-tempo, fast-paced game, because that's what fans told us they wanted.
And I know that the NFL will be taking notes on these rules and how it turns out. What happens if a game ends in a tie?
So if a game ends in a tie, we have an overtime. It's a different overtime than what college football has or professional football in terms of the NFL. It's effectively considered it's sort of a hockey shootout, where the offensive team A and the defensive team B and the offensive team B and the defensive team A are able to run alternately 5 plays from the 5-yard line, no kicking involved. And so it's sort of like a hockey shootout with the players that played the 60 minutes of regulation and got that game to overtime. They're the ones who'll be out on the field determining who wins that game in overtime. We think that's fair, and we think it'll be very kind of fun to watch. It's a little bit of a new twist, but we're excited about it. We've tested it with junior colleges and lots of semi-pro leagues over the last 18 months, and think that it'll be a neat way to resolve a game that has ended in regulation in a tie.
Well, it's going to be an exciting brand of football. I know the fans here in Seattle are going to eat this up. Commissioner Oliver Luck with the XFL, thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Bill.
All right, so again, the Seattle Dragons open their first ever season against the DC Defenders, and then their first home game is coming up on Saturday, February 15th, as they take on the Tampa Bay Vipers at CenturyLink Field. You can catch that game right here on Q13 Fox, by the way.
7:49. Let's get you caught up on some